Hi. Right now in Britain, we're still in the grip of the coldest period that I can remember. The weather forecast tells us that it's going to stay with us for a while longer, but it's bitter cold. I'm growing in a thick winter coat. I'm wearing all the gifts that I got for Christmas. You won't have seen this one before. It's a new one. And it's time to really curry in, to get in beside the fire and stay in as long as you can. Don't go out unless you really have to. But that reminds me of a couple of winters ago when we had a heavy snowfall. It wasn't nearly as bitterly cold, but there was a thick blanket of snow on the ground around where we live, which is pretty much in the countryside, about an hour northwest of Glasgow. We had been to my sister's house and we'd had a lovely time, and it was quite late at night. Because of the snow and the time that it was, there wasn't much traffic around. So as we got closer to our house and the roads became more and more rural, there were no tracks in front of us to follow. And the last mile to our house, we have to ascend quite a steep hill and then down again into the road that leads to our driveway. We tried to get up that hill. We were the pioneers through that thick blanket of snow. There maybe was about a foot of snow. And we got about halfway and the wheels on the car began to spin. We knew that we weren't going to get anywhere. Nancy, my wife, was driving, and she's an expert driver, but it was time to get the handbrake on and stop making the road any more slippery than it already was. We did that, began to think, what are we going to do? We were dressed for the meal that we had been to. We weren't dressed in our winter clothes, when suddenly there was a knock on the window at Nancy's side of the car. She put the window down and there was a man there wearing a t-shirt. He said, I see you're having a bit of trouble. This car will be able to grip if I put some weight on the back. Let me just try to put my weight on the back of your car and you slowly allow the car to go up the hill. Before we knew what was happening, he was behind us pushing on the car. Now, this was quite a steep gradient, and he was able to push us up this hill very slowly. The car got traction on the snow, and we got to the crest of the hill. We knew we were safe then because it was downhill all the way after that, but we wanted to thank this man, this stranger who appeared from nowhere. We turned round to look out the window at the back of the car, and there was no one there. There were no signs of another car. There were no footprints in the snow. We think that was an angel that the Lord sent to help us. Now, it's just past Christmas time, and we're still thinking about angels, the angels that brought glad tidings of the birth of baby Jesus, the angels that were adorning our Christmas cards that we sent to one another. And we ask ourselves, are there angels today? Well, you explain to me what happened on that night where we would have had to abandon our car and walk a mile or more through thick snow wearing the wrong kind of clothes to our home. God sent an angel who spoke in a Scottish accent and was wearing nothing more than light clothes, a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. We didn't really get a good look at his face because he took us by surprise. But the Bible talks in the New Testament about angels. Let's see what the Bible has to say from the book of Hebrews chapter 1. And in verse 14 it says, are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? That man who came to our rescue certainly was a ministering spirit. He ministered to us. He rescued us from our dilemma. And we are inheriting salvation. Look around you. All is always not what it appears to be. There may be angels in the groups that you are rubbing shoulders with, on that bus, on that train, in your workplace, walking with you or brushing past you on the streets. There are angels sent to minister to you, you who are inheriting salvation. God bless you.